guys, my name is Zoe Soleil and welcome to my channel. This is actually my first video and this one is in honor of my son Logan, who's turning 1 year old. This story is very interesting on how I found out I was pregnant and the delivery and everything about it. So I don't want to hold you guys up, just subscribe and like and let's get right into it. So I want to start from the beginning of probably the end of 2019. I started to notice some weight gaining and everything, but I just graduated high school and I went off to college for a little bit. So I thought, okay, maybe that's just freshman 15. If you don't know what that is, that's when people usually gain weight, excessive weight once they graduate high school. So I kind of thought that that's what it was, but I just didn't really mind it because I was getting a period each month. So just to let you guys know that. So I remember I was gaining so much weight that my dad was asking me, Zoe, are you pregnant? But it was like, no, I can't be. And I was kind of getting offended about it because it's like, why would I be pregnant basically? So there are certain things that I did go through where now it's like, okay, girl, you were pregnant. Like, for example, I remember one time I went to go get my car fixed and I had really bad pain in my stomach, which now I know that was probably contractions or who knows. Like, I'm just happy that he didn't come out early that day. But I remember, yeah, I hear him. Yeah, y'all hear him. Yeah. But I remember one time I had really bad cramps. Hold on, you guys. Alright. Have to bear with me. I'm a mom. He gonna be making noise. Anyway, so at the place, I promise you that those cramps that day, that was equivalent to contractions. So at the car place, there happened to be a pastor there, and I asked about his phone because my phone was dead. And it's like, as soon as he started talking to me, those contractions, the cramps, whatever I was feeling, it just went away. And it was around, when I think about it, it was around the time that I probably was like 9 or 8 months pregnant. So I just know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a believer in God. So I just know that that was God. I just know it was God. All right, everyone say hey to Logan. Yeah, say hey, Logan. All right. So let's fast forward to the beginning of the year in January. So you know how all of us have that New Year's resolution of just losing weight, right? So in the beginning of the year, I decided, okay, I want to take weight loss and fitness very seriously because my weight has gotten out of hand. Like, I gained around probably 20 pounds since I graduated high school. Yeah, 20 pounds. So I said my weight has gone out of hand, so I need to lose weight. So we found a trainer that my mom was mutual friends with. So we went to go see him. When we go to the trainer, you know, I did cardio and stuff, different workouts. You know, I really did my best with the workouts and everything, but I got very tired where it's like, okay, I know I can do some of these things, but I'm just really tired, out of breath and everything. And I was pushed, as a trainer should do. So I just know for a fact that me going to that trainer, it played a huge part on Logan coming out because he was 39 weeks. So I know that workout played a huge part on him coming out. I remember resting a lot after the workout, like just sleeping. Like, I remember spending a whole day just sleeping and everything. And me and my mom, we went back to the gym on January 4th and we did those same workouts, repeated those same workouts because they were really good. I know just doing those consistently will show, like, it'll really show a difference if we do those workouts. So I went to church on January 5th, walking up all those stairs and everything. If you guys seen my church, you guys will be like, really? Full term and you did all of that? Yes, full term, I did all of that. And I just didn't know. Like, I noticed how my stomach was bigger. Now that I see, like, notice now is that I had heartburn. things like that where I thought, okay, maybe I just need to change my eating habits and everything. So on January 5th, that night around 9 o'clock, we was watching Power because it was on a Sunday night. And you know how Power comes on at 12 a.m., you know, midnight on Sunday. So we are watching it, me and my dad and his now wife. We all watched it. And I started to feel some cramps. And I was like, okay, cramps, I'm usually able to handle them. Because again, I had a period still. But this one was kind of worse. Like this one was like, okay, I'm going to need some ibuprofen. So I asked my dad to give me ibuprofen because he usually carries that. I'm not really big on taking medicine and stuff. So he gave me that, and I just went on about watching it in my day. So I went to sleep, and I woke up with those same cramps. And I was like, wait, I'm able to usually sleep through, you know, because it helps me, but this is waking me up. So I kind of figured, okay, maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe I ate something. So I went to the bathroom, and once I was done using the bathroom, I wiped and I saw mucus, and I know myself as far as like mucus and everything. I was like, okay, this is weird. Oh, and I also had water around like the rim of the toilet. So I was like, wait, I hope this is not what I'm thinking. And the pain became very unbearable to where I was like, okay, maybe I'm having appendix problems. So I need to tell my dad this before it gets worse. And I'm just in complete shock and pain. So I tell my dad, and he's like, okay, we're going to the emergency room. Because even for a while, he's been trying to, like I told you before, he thought that was pregnancy. He's like, yeah, we're going to the emergency room. And I'm the type to Google my side effects and my symptoms and everything. So I'm looking up everything. Everything is like, okay, appendix. I also noticed like the key thing, it'll stop and it'll come. So I looked that up, and it was like contractions and pregnancy, and I'm like, oh nah, I know that's not it. So it gotta be appendix problem. And I get to the doctor, they do the usual, you know, check your vitals. When you're there, they usually, when you're at the ER, they usually make you take a urine test so that they can get to the bottom of what's probably causing you stomach pain and everything. So they did that. And went to the back. The first thing that the doctor said was, it looks like you may be pregnant. And I was like, what? It was like, yeah, your urine test came back positive. And I was there with my dad, so he kind of looked at me. My dad is a very patient person. So at that point, it's like, what else can you do versus just try to figure out like how far along I am, and at that point figure out if I'm in labor or not. So they took me back into to get an ultrasound to see how far along I am, and the lady said that, well, you're more far along than I think, like, then you know. And I said, how far along? And she said, well, it looks like you're 39 weeks, like full term. So the doctor went ahead and prepared my dad and told us that I'm possibly in labor right now. So he goes down there and checks to see how dilated I am. I was pretty dilated, probably like around 3 centimeters, you know, in labor. So he goes ahead and said, yeah, you're in labor, so you gotta get everything figured out. So at that point, what else is there to do but just figure out, like, okay, where are we gonna go from here? Like, gotta figure out names. So I don't know the gender or anything. They didn't tell me all of that stuff. I don't know why they couldn't just tell me, but they didn't tell me all this stuff. Look at him. Oh, they didn't tell me all of that at all. So I'm Googling, yes, I'm Googling baby girl names and baby boy names. With the baby girl name, what's crazy is that I didn't really come up with the baby girl name, but I knew for a fact if I wanted a boy, if I had a boy, his name was going to be Logan. And there you have it, I have a baby boy. But at that point, we had to go ahead and tell my mom, which was probably the hardest, roughest person to tell that to. But she came, and of course she was really upset, as any parent would in a situation like that. But they had to end up transferring me to another hospital because the one that I went to, they didn't have a labor and delivery area. So they did that. It was really scary because I was 10 centimeters by the time they transferred me to the other hospital. So I had no type of medication. They gave me some stuff in my IV, but you know, I didn't have the epidural and everything. So I was 10 centimeters at the other hospital. And they took me into the trauma area to try to get me to push. I was then 10 centimeters dilated, and that's usually where they have you start to push. So they took me into the trauma room at that hospital because they didn't have an ambulance there yet. So they said, okay, there's enough. I think she has enough time to be transferred to the other hospital. So they put me in an ambulance. That was like the longest ride of my life. And they actually planned for me to have him in there. Like, yes, have him in the ambulance. No epidural or anything. So I get to the hospital and I get situated. And thank God I got the epidural. Like, thank God. And I feel like it kind of slowed down the whole process for me because I swear, I promise, if I didn't get that epidural, I probably would have had him in that next contraction. No over exaggerating, for real. So it became, I ended up having him. Really, I feel like there's no really like crazy story as far as, I mean, this is a crazy story, but it's no like bad labor as far as like something happening. Thank God. I really thank God for that. But other than that, the whole delivery process was very smooth. And that's how I got my big-headed boy right here. I'm gonna go more in depth in different symptoms I had that I noticed now that was pregnancy versus, you know, just different symptoms that I had then I didn't know were pregnancy. So one thing that I experienced was heartburn. Yeah, I experienced heartburn. Every time I ate something hot, it's like I had an acid reflux type of thing. I heard from other mothers that that is a sign of pregnancy for some. Also, when people ask, oh, you didn't feel him moving, it is like a little flutter, I can say that I felt, but it only happened at night. But I thought that, okay, everything I thought was more so just eating the wrong thing. Because it's not like my diet wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the best either. Another thing I could say was, I feel like my performance in that personal training class, I felt like I could have done better. But now, seeing why I was affected and acting that way at the personal trainer, he definitely played a huge part, me being pregnant, because I was tired, but it was just 10 times worse. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that it had to be due to me being pregnant. Also, another thing was just the stomach pain. Like that day when I told you when I was at the car lot, at the car repair shop, and I felt that pain. I know that because I don't get stomach cramps like that. Like, I just know that stomach pain was definitely due. It's just a lot of like stomach cramps. So that's all for this story time. I'm going to try to do up this page, make some content. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and if there's anything else that y'all like to see, just comment below.